Sons. Well, everybody, and Egon and John, we're here today to talk about Fargo. We watched Fargo a couple of days ago. We kind of want to let this review sit a little bit because, it's very fresh and new, and we want to give everyone a chance to see it. So, and if you probably don't want to see spoilers, and I suggest we're not going to give out a lot of spoilers. We don't want to get taken off YouTube or anything, But there's some things we want to talk about. Well, let's talk about Fargo. We hadn't seen it in a while, and then now it's came out. We had to, wait a little bit, but it's out now. We watched it. It starts in 1950. We have a period piece, which any one of the Fargo things could either be called a period piece because they've always been in some type of other time than what they're actually in. I'm not going to go through the list, but everyone knows season 1 starts in 06 or 05, and then season 3 it's 2010, but none of this was recorded then or made. So it's all period piece to a degree, but this is a different Fargo, I guess you could say. It's not too repetitive. I think a lot of people were afraid that they were going to rely too heavily on season 2's familiarities, Kansas City, Mike Milligan, things that we know, but it kind of did in some ways. We have the Trading of Sons, which is a little interesting. I needed a little backstory, and they gave it to us, and that was just enough that we needed. I'm not going to get into all that right there, but it was pretty interesting how all that went down with the youngest. I'll just say that. So yeah, the first episode, it's here's 14 different characters thrown at you with no plot. Oh well, but keep watching episode 2 and it gets better. That's really what it felt like, because we don't see a protagonist ever in the first episode. I'm sure. Well, the Italians, we know they're going to be bad. We know they're the bad. The big brother, he's the big bad. We don't like him. I have already a favorite character, if I can just say real quick. Do you have a favorite character? Chris Rock. Which is funny, I like his, Lloyd Cannon. I like his friend, Dr. Senator. My gosh, that guy was so cool. And we're going to get into that in the warehouse. That was episode 2. Alright, so first episode, a little dry, It was a huge fart. And I thought that was wow, that's Barry Cohen. So I wasn't very entertained, but it was slightly amusing, and it had its weird moments. I've seen stuff where it didn't feel like a Fargo. It didn't feel very much like Fargo, and I guess that's kind of intended since we're in Kansas City. But Fargo never takes place in Fargo. It's always been Minnesota. But there's some Minnesota characters other than the nurse. She's very lovely. She murders. Spoilers. I'll leave that there. She's a. Yeah, bleep. Hit the bleep button. Nah, we got a crazy wild nurse. She's alright, I think. She likes to make pies. I don't know what she's baking in the pies or putting in pies. They got a close-up and just said, syrup. I was looks like red blood, but I guess that's what syrup looks like. Anyway, it's hard to tell, but she looks like a decent character, but just kind of a little out of it a little bit. I have a feeling that she's related to somebody, and I don't want to get to that. The Trading of Sons, the Italian kid, he has got to be somebody. He's thrown at us, and we see him all the time. But I want to say this: it seemed like he was really happy or not reluctant, possibly Mike, Lloyd Cannon's son, with the Trading of Sons. This Italian kid looked like he was ready to go. And he's obviously being treated better than possibly Mike Milligan. We can just say he's definitely Mike, but definitely almost, because he's staying with Rabbi Milligan. I think that's going to harden his heart in some way. We had a little scene with a dog-eat-dog world from Rabbi Milligan. That's something Lord Malbo says in season 1. I forgot what episode, but I thought that was interesting. But this rabbi character, he's very attached to Mike, it seems like, or he's kind of looking after him. And they have kind of, the same thing going on. They're both outsiders to this Italian family, where the Italian kid gets seated at the table in that prayer scene. I thought it was very neat. And, they treat him like part of the family. And in my notes here, I had to write this down. I mean, we see it's really sweet, the prayer and everything. I don't know all of Lloyd Cannon's ins and outs. Well, I figure we're going to get some. I mean, he's a futurist, as they say. But now let's go to the Italian family, where we got, you know, the rabbi upstairs with, you know, little Mike, and they're just not, they got this big Italian, it looks like the Olive Garden. I always say Olive Garden in these reviews. We're not endorsing them or nothing, but they had this big spread, and it's like, oh, where's Mike, and where's the rabbi? Oh, they're upstairs eating a peanut butter sandwich and just kind of, you know, living in an attic. It's like, it's rough in some ways to think about that. But the Italian kid looks like he's alright with the exchange. They got a little thing worked out, which I thought that was cool. I like how Dr. Senator was trying to talk Lloyd Cannon out of that. He's like, is there anything we can do? They don't say his name yet, but we're thinking it's Mike Milligan. They don't want to give us too much. I like the Cannon family, though. I think they're really neat. The Rabbi Milligan, he's one of my favorite characters. Dr. Senator, he is my favorite one, though. And I guess we can just go ahead and talk about episode 2. Some things happen, like, I don't know what it is, like a warehouse of cows or whatever, and Cannon said that's his territory. We're going to check it out, or, you know, y'all go to it, and we get this beautiful scene with Dr. Senator, and he is funny, and, like, you know, he said, you know, and he's respectful and honest and true. He's like, in America, you have to earn respect to get it, or something like that to that Italian guy. This guy was so stuck up, like he wouldn't even look at that. He wouldn't even look at Dr. Senator. I was like, But they just went in, took over. He says it's a transaction of power, and something like that. I love that. Hey, Happy's cousin. He's like, you know, you follow me or chill out, Happy's cousin. That part made me laugh. I don't know. There's a lot of neat things in this Fargo. It's definitely a little bit different than what we're used to. But I think that's, you know, pretty good. I'm wanting to see where this is all going to lead up to. I think we're going to wind up right back at the start at Minnesota. And I say that because I feel like this is going to be like the origin story of what started everything that we come to know as Fargo. Anyway, but that's not all we're going to say. Oh, we didn't talk about the Smutny family that owns the funeral home. Well, what'd you think about them? They were pretty interesting. We don't know much about them other than, like, their daughter is kind of like, you know, I'm kind of done with, like, people running me over in life, and it's bullcrap. It really is. And I like the whole thing, like, about how she was trying to get into the, you know, normal side. She just finally was like, Dad, you know, and he's like, go ahead, go in. But I like that. I think they're going to be a sweet family. I like, I'm not going to give out too much spoilers, but I like the we'll just call them the eccentric, wild duo partner group. Boy, they escape out of a prison, and they are related to the Smutnies. I'm not going to say where or how, but it's really good. You guys need to check this out. I really do enjoy this, and I'm anxious to see where it goes. It didn't have all the same things as Fargo season 1, season 2, season 3. This is like you have to keep watching it, and it gets like, ooh, whoa. So yeah, we'll see how season 3 or episode 3 goes. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this video or review, what we said. And if you guys hadn't already, I hope you guys like and subscribe. We're going to try to, you know, do some more episodes throughout the season. We're also going to do a worst of the worst Halloween. Thank you guys. Bye.